Moving forward, these reviews will come out on Mondays, as not to clutter up my schedule or to double up videos. Gives everything more of a breathing room. Now, Miss Marvel, Episode 4. I actually forget the name. I don't think the episodes have names. Most of the Marvel shows don't. I'm probably wrong. Anyway, like last episode, Kamala saw a train through the veil that separates the world of the Jinn and the world of and the MCU, and the world of the MCU, and what they have learned. And after that, she gets a call from her grandmother, who tells her that, like, hey, I saw the train too. You gotta come to Pakistan. And so she flies to Pakistan, which in the MCU is doing smashing. Of course, there are non-war-torn, like, it's a funny thing, like, they always portray certain countries as, like, war-torn and fucked up, when really it's just, like, a large portion of it is war-torn. There are still, like, areas that are mostly functioning, because if they weren't, you couldn't film TV shows there. But the MCU's version of Pakistan is doing a lot better than the real life version of Pakistan. Anyway, Kamala and her mother get there. Kamala's mother and Kamala's grandmother have the stereotypical sitcom. Why weren't you there for me? I was there for you. Can't you see that bullshit? It's done really well. It's just nah. You've seen it before. You've seen it before. What's really cool this episode is that we meet Kamala's. I guess the common writer or tokusatsu nerd term would be her second writer, who is Red Dagger. Red Dagger is an entirely normal human, but he's trained by an elite assassin order to protect Pakistan. So he's kind of like Black Widow or the assassins from Assassin's Creed, but but not evil. So that's cool. Turns out the order may have had the Order of the Red Dagger may have been started, or at least has ties to Kamala's great grandmother, who is Kamala's grandmother's mother. The great grandmother, who is a Jinn from the Jinn world. We learned from the Red Daggers that the Jinn world and the human world are like, they're two dimensions existing at the same time, and if one were to touch the other, it would destroy itself. But this also explains why how Kamala's powers work. You see, Kamala manipulates the veil because Kamala has Jinn powers, but she's a human. She is anchored to the world of the MCU and is able to literally warp the veil between the Jinn world and the MCU around herself to create hard light constructs. So she's got literally warping the universe around herself, which is a lot more OP than just being able to embiggen your limbs. When you think about it, when you actually think about it, this version of Kamala, she's actually underutilizing her superpowers when you really get down to it. Anyway, there's a cool fight and a chase. I kind of spoiled a lot of this episode, but it's fairly straightforward and it's a lot of fun. I do apologize for that, but I don't necessarily think me telling you I don't think this episode, spoiling it, would ruin the enjoyment. It's really good. This is such a fun show. It really, really is. I will admit though, this show does not have any of the cool edits and cinematography that the past couple of episodes had. So I can't really give it a 10 out of 10, but it's certainly a 9. That's all I gotta say. I'll leave you to it. See you next Monday.